Be the best of the best at what you do. Believe not in the competition, just believe in you. Everything you ever wanted is within you. You have to dig deep to get it out of you. If you take one step, make sure you take two. Wellman Charlehorn, also known as Uncle Shadow. Sometimes in life you encounter greatness all wrapped up and sitting right in front of you. Uncle Shadow was no exception, and he rates 2 quotes because, well, he is just that special. I met Uncle Shadow during my visit to New Orleans to see my amazing friend, Sherry Myers. Sherry wanted to show me some of her precious Nola, and I wanted to see it, of course. I mean, who wouldn't? There is no place on earth like New Orleans. None. Period. Doesn't matter what you're wearing, the color of your skin or hair, skinny, fat, glamorous, or plain, nobody is concerned with how you look, or if you throw your hands up in the air, or dance in the street. New Orleans just is. You can take it or leave it, and it doesn't matter. It does not try to get your approval or make you like it. It doesn't judge you. To really experience it, you must walk it. And walk we did, past open shop doors, past street musicians, past revelers, and past tourists. It's all part of the local flavor. It's a smorgasbord of where you can pick and choose what you want. And if you can't find it on one street, try another. Time stands still as you wander around. As we crossed one street, an interesting man caught my attention as he sat at a table on the sidewalk close to the street. We approached and I said hello and asked how he was. A robotic voice answered and a huge smile came across his face. I later learned that Uncle Shadow had gone through throat cancer, thus the reason for his trach. I looked around and spotted a painting on the wall of the building next to where he sat. It was definitely him. It was a self-portrait, I learned during our conversation. I asked permission to take his picture and a picture of the painting, which he gladly gave, and in exchange, my friend Sherry blessed him with a small token of appreciation, which I choose to believe would help with a meal that day. As we stood and visited, taking pictures and chatting for a bit, I wandered over to the picture. The name signed was Wellman Charlehorn, AKA Uncle Shadow. I asked if that was his name, and indeed it was. I would later find out that this gentle, smiling stranger was quite the local personality. Having been wrongfully imprisoned at the Louisiana State Penitentiary for almost 30 years, he found a way to have pen and manila envelopes and proceeded to draw, and continued to do so for 27 years. He sold his art to fellow inmates, and some pieces eventually found their way to the outside world, where they gained attention. His work is included in the collections of the Smithsonian American Art Museum in Washington, D.C., the Collection de l'Art Brut, Lausanne, Switzerland, and the American Visionary Art Museum in Baltimore. I learned all of this through research after my encounter with this humble, gentle, smiling man who seemed so at peace sitting in New Orleans on a sunny day at a table by the roadway. It brought to mind a quote from the Bible: "Forget not to show love unto strangers, for thereby some have entertained angels unawares." I believe this gentle soul has blessed many with his sweet angelic ways. Dear angels, lately I have heard many ask why bad things happen to good people. Could we have some insight into that? Dear ones, in your 3D world, you're focused on contrast because that is the basis of your lessons while on your Earth planet. You only know what is up because you know what is down, what soft is because you know hard. And each of these has meaning to you in your law of gravity. Good and bad are not part of the gravitational law. They are a judgment that you make. How do you determine what is bad or what is good or what is too bad and not good enough? Do you not see, dear ones, that in the earthly experience, you build judgments based on what you are taught? Good and bad are defined by people. When nobody knows and there is nobody there to judge, then good and bad do not inherently exist. We invite you to consider that things happen in divine plan and divine time. If you are judging that someone's experience that they are going through is bad, you are drawing on your definition of bad based on what you have been taught and shown in your lifetime. Why are you holding judgment about something that is not even yours to judge? Was it your experience? If so, then you are the only one who can judge it to be bad. Recall the words of Christ when he was presented with the judging crowd. Why do you look at the speck of sawdust in your brother's eye and pay no attention to the plank in your own eye? Ask yourself, was I the one wrongly imprisoned? Did I encounter disease ravishing my body? Each person has to come to terms with their individual experiences and come to your own conclusion as to how to deal with it. We can assure you that if you choose the road of judgment, anger, and hurt, you will have a harder time coming to peace inside with your situation. You can point the finger and find someone else to blame, and many times, indeed, that may be the case. But dear ones, does it change what is in your now moment if you go into blame, shame, and guilt? We know this is not an easy lesson for you. We know that you try to make it make sense, and sometimes it just doesn't. Let us be clear, though, dear ones. We are answering the question put forth to us when we say these words to you. We are seeking to answer your specific question with our discourse and not anything concerning the laws set by your government, which is entirely a different conversation. As the words flowed in and clarity was given, I was reminded of a saying that came to me last year: stay in your own lane. I now see 333 as I complete this writing and know that is my sign that I heard you correctly, dear angels. Thank you. I love you. Blessings to you all and to Uncle Shadow for the beautiful experience in an amazing place.